Hey, 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 people, guess what? It's Friday. This is Beards on the Street. My name's Parry Dean Ward, and Mr. A.A. Ron is out of commission today. He's out actually showing houses to clients, so good for him. I want to introduce my guest for today. We think the world of this guy. His name is Mr. Jeff Lake, and Jeff is a mortgage broker with UMortgage up in Boise, Idaho, and a huge integral part of our VIP 50 system and what we're doing up in the Boise area. So welcome, Jeff.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, Parry Dean. I appreciate you and Aaron very much, and the VIP system is an awesome movement full of awesome people.
Yep. Agreed, dude. But we wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for people like you that helped us out and helped us put butts in the seats and actually spread the word. You know, change people's lives. We just had a training up there this week, and you were gracious enough to feed the crowd for one of the days, and we are super grateful for that. So thank you. I noticed the shirt. Let's get Jeffed up, baby.
That's it. That's it. I found this shirt online. I just could not buy it and wear it around because I like to tell people, hey man, if you have a mortgage issue or you have something that you want to talk about in real estate, you need to get Jeffed up, because I've been doing this 26 years, got a whole lot of knowledge in this dome of mine that's rattling around. I love to share it.
Yes, you do. You have a plethora of freaking information and knowledge, and I mean, just we went to dinner with you and your beautiful wife Namini, and just some of the cool things that you come up with, dude. It's really cool. I love it.
Well, it's funny because everybody thinks about mortgage as just a vehicle to buy a house, and in all reality, if you take a step back and look at it differently, a mortgage is a financial tool, just like an annuity, just like a 401k. Just like stocks. It's just how do you find a way to put that into that portfolio and use it as part of your portfolio.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
A lot of people don't think that way.
No, they do not. They're kind of living in a box. They can't go outside of that box, or they're not comfortable. So kudos for you for being comfortable outside of the box.
I always tell people, everybody looks at it. America has a weird way of thinking of things. They go, well, I've got these assets, I've got these debts. Oh yeah, and I got a house and a mortgage.
Right.
Well, the house is an asset and the mortgage is a debt. So why aren't you treating them the same way you treat anything else?
Yeah, true.
So I like to shake things up and have people think a little differently and just be a disruptor.
Nice.
I think that you don't know what you don't know. So I like to help people figure things out.
Love it. So before we get in and actually start talking a little shop here, I'm actually curious. Tell people your experience so far with the VIP 50 and that whole movement, bro.
So the way I look at the VIP 50 is, you hear the big buzzword right now in real estate is relationships or relational transactions. And that's all good and well, but how do you actually get there? What is a relationship truly? As you like to say all the time, you can have 500 people that you say you have a relationship with, but if the relationship is this deep, is it really a relationship? So what I love about VIP 50 is you pick the 50 people, and it's really cool because you get to choose who you want to be in that VIP 50. You get to choose who you want to actually expand your relationships with, which to me, that's a huge part of it, because I think you've told a couple stories about guys that you were really good friends with in high school or maybe right after high school, and then as life gets busy and you get married and you have kids and those relationships kind of fall away. But you didn't really mean for that to fall away, just life happened. So the fact that you have this ability to just call somebody up and go, hey, you know what, Joe? We were really close for a couple of years back in high school, just out of high school, and I missed that, and I've screwed up by not continuing to do that. So first of all, I apologize for letting that happen. And second of all, I want to start back where we were and make you part of my crew, my VIP 50 crew that have deep meaning to me and that I actually invest in. And it's just a really, really positive way of thinking about how you surround yourself with the people that you want to give your love to.
You know, you said it right, Jeff. It is all about relationships. It's about how we show up for those relationships. And even more important is adding value and actually making people feel like they're important to you. That's what it's all about. So, you know, we love this movement that we've created, and we're going to continue spreading this. As you know, we've got 34 of our trainings scheduled between now and the end of August. I'm sure my wife's not real super happy with me about that, but you know what? This is important to me. It's important to the people like yourself that are involved in our movement and in what we're doing. And you know, I'll tell you a quick story. Yesterday at the training, about 9:00, Aaron and I were sitting there, and this kid walked in, and he's like, "Is Aaron here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's right over there." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here for the program or whatever." And come to find out, this kid had gone to the wrong office, and wherever he was supposed to be, it was with Stuart Title, which I think was supposed to be in Meridian, and we were out in Nampa. Anyways. I took a minute with the kid and I just said, "Listen, you've already blown it for your other training because you're already here. So why don't you stay?" And he was very curious and asking a lot of really good questions. And I just kind of sat and answered them and just said, "Hey, what do you got to lose, man?" And he started like everybody else does, making excuses. "I'm so busy. I got this, I got that." And I was like, "Dude, none of that you just said to me is gonna help you go get business." So, and this kid's, I found out through conversation that he's been an agent for about 3 years. He did, I believe he said 12 transactions last year, it was 7. And I just said, "Dude, stick around. What's the worst thing can happen? You get a free lunch and you might learn one thing that's going to help you." So it was really cool, Jeff, that this kid ended up staying, and he loved it, and he was very inquisitive during the actual training. And yeah, I mean, it's cool how things just fall in your lap, right?
Well, I'm a big believer that God puts you where you need to be, and so that sort of stuff to me is divine. That's where that comes from.
Yeah,
he came into that room because he needed to meet you and Aaron and Travis and see exactly how you guys could impact his life in a positive way. So,
and how about our boy Travis taking on that training? Were you able to see his module that he did?
I did not, because of just I had other obligations. But I can tell you, and you already know this, Travis has a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah.
He and I have known each other for quite some time, and the story is Travis called me up and he was ready to basically quit being in real estate. And I said, I just found this new thing. I think it fits what you want to do perfectly. Because we had a long talk, and I said, "What is it about the business that is kind of making you feel that way?" And he goes, "Well, I do these deals for people, and then the next thing you know, they're down the road, and I feel like I have to start over every single time to get more business." I said, I need you to talk to this guy, Parry Dean. And then it kind of just went from there. And you guys have helped him turn his whole, not just business, but mindset around on how to maintain a thriving real estate business. So if you're watching this and you're in real estate and you have felt that, boy, I got to reinvent the wheel. I'm only as good as what I do tomorrow. I've heard that statement a ton in real estate. Talk to Parry, talk to Aaron, and figure out how you can make your tomorrows focused, and that there's a plan to tomorrow. You're not just going into tomorrow hoping that you find a deal, but there's actually a relationship system that will make sure your plate is always full.
Yep, and it's our boy Travis, man. He is such a good soul. He's just I freaking love that guy, and he now runs our whole Boise operation as far as our team. He's our team lead up there. I know he's in total cahoots with you, and you're his go-to guy as far as the mortgage. And quite frankly, Jeff, I mean, we have our footing up there, and we're doing what we're doing, and a lot of it is because of you, bro. So kudos to you, man. I mean, we're super grateful for our relationship and friendship with you, and for how you've leaned into the VIP 50, and you're our guy, man.
Well, you know, when you are blessed, you spread blessings, and that's, you guys were a blessing to me. So I was blessed by getting to know you guys. I have Jimmy Hobson to thank for that.
Oh yeah. And, well, Jimmy's the one that turned us on to you. So.
Right. So you guys just really, real estate's not easy. You know that.
No, it's not.
Whether it's being an agent, it's not easy. It's a grind. But if you have a passionate system that you can plug into, it sure makes that grind a lot easier to be a part of every single day.
No doubt, especially if you have a system that you can lean on and believe in, especially through the lean times.
Well, and then it also does more than just that. It creates a community of like-minded others that when you are having a rough day, you know, I can call you, I can call Aaron, I can call Travis, I can call Annette, Judd. There's a huge group of people that will go, Jeff, quit your stinking thinking. Let's focus on what's the positive. What is it you can do today? Who is it you can call that you haven't called? Who is it you can add to your list that's going to edify you and make you feel like you've done something for somebody else? The truth of the matter is, when we are trying to do everything for ourselves all the time, we do not fill our cup. The way we get our cup filled is by doing things for others. And then because your cup is full, you get to take a little sip out of that cup, and that's how you get paid. So if you can keep your cup full, you constantly have something to drink out of. If you're just trying to do it for yourself and you don't have that component of doing for others, your cup will end up dried out, and then you become dehydrated and you don't have the ability to continue moving forward. You know, that's the best way I could look at the analogy. VIP 50 keeps your cup full no matter how many times you take sips out of it.
Love it. Yep. And you're exactly right, man. You know, every training I do, Jeff, it fills my freaking bucket like no other, dude. And I know that you've heard me talk about that book, How Full Is Your Bucket? And same analogy as your cup. It's when you're filling somebody else's bucket, you're filling your own. If you're taking from their bucket, you're taking from your own. And, you know, it's so satisfying to see the difference and the changes that we make in people's lives with this training and with this whole entire system. It's pretty fulfilling, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
It is absolutely cool. It's too expansive to talk about all of it on a podcast, but it is just when you can locate your people that you want to add value to their lives, and that law of reciprocation is definitely going to happen. So they're going to add value back to your life. It just elevates how you feel on a day-to-day basis. You know, the gratitudes that we do every single morning. There's just so much to it that is positive that I can't think of one reason to tell somebody, you know, you might not like this part of it. I just don't see the negatives at all in it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm drinking Kool-Aid in my cup, but that's okay. I like that Kool-Aid.
Well, and that's kind of cool that you kind of bring that up, Jeff. I mean, let's go a little deeper there. So what we teach our team and what we teach everybody through the VIP 50 system, guys, is that you should be writing down, not just voicing, but writing down your gratitudes and affirmations every single day. We call it the morning routine. And we get people to just block out a half an hour every morning, whatever that looks like in their schedule. And in that half an hour, we have worksheets, but you can just do it on a blank piece of paper. It's real simple. You write the same affirmation 25 times for 30 days. Let me say that again. The same affirmation 25 times daily for 30 days, and then you switch it and do another one. And the way you write that affirmation is as if you've already achieved it. For example, in the real estate, I enjoy doing 4 transactions a month and the lifestyle that it gives me, something along those lines. And it has been scientifically proven, Jeff, and I know you and I have talked about this, that writing it down is so much more powerful with your brain and with what message you're putting out than just verbally saying it. And then we also get them to write down 25 things that they are grateful for. You know, I'm grateful for you, Jeff. I'm grateful for my friendship with you. I'm grateful for Namini, your wife. I'm grateful for our Boise crowd. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful for so many things. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. And it's such a powerful, powerful tool to do this every single morning, guys, because it's setting yourself up for success. It's feeding you and building yourself up so that you can actually take on the day with confidence and with, gratitude in your heart and affirming. I'm a huge believer of what you put out in this universe is exactly what's going to come back in your direction. And then
what happens is you become a magnet for positivity.
Yes.
I know both you and I kind of have this ability. I can't walk into a room, just like you can't walk into a room and have people come up and be excited to see you. And the reason they're excited to see you is because they know you're going to make them feel better.
Right.
You're going to make them feel more positive about themselves. And that's a huge place to live. I don't know of anything else other than a relationship with God for me that does more for me than helping other people do what they want to do or be better or feel better or see things in a different way that moves them forward. So when you're that way, those gratitudes help you to learn how to be that way every single day. Well,
it helps you live that way. So yeah, it's powerful stuff, bro. Powerful. Why don't you tell people about, because one of our other morning routines is creating and then saying your I am statement to yourself. So tell everybody your experience with that, and if you have one.
So I have an I am statement. I do that. I probably don't do it as often as I should, but when I know that I am losing my way, I make sure to go back to my I am statement. And what it is a statement of who you know you want to be that you then are going to manifest into who you actually are.
Yep.
So that is how your I am statement goes. So I am a mortgage broker who leads with education. I am a husband who loves with abandon. I am a person who wants to bring joy and positivity into this world. I am someone who is going to make a difference in others' lives every single day.
Love it. And yes, that is who you are. Basically what you do here, guys, I'll just give you a real quick lowdown if anybody out there wants to participate in this I am statement. Just pick, 4 to 6 values that you have and go to ChatGPT and just type into ChatGPT, I want to create an I am statement based around these values, and then give them the values. And it will give you a really good base to start from on who you are, what you stand for, and what your I am statement is. And then we encourage everybody in our system to actually print that off, put it on their bathroom mirror, and every single morning you say your I am statement to yourself. Power, baby. Power.
It is.
So anybody out there that wants to participate, build an I am statement and share it with us. I'd love to hear it. Share it with me. Direct message me or text me, whatever it is. I'd love to hear your I am statement. So, Jeff, let's shift gears a little bit here and let's talk about you, brother. Let's talk about your your business. I'm just going to kind of open up the mic and you have at it. What do you want to talk about, kid?
So let's talk about mortgage as a tool. A couple things. I think we talked about this the other night. We're getting a lot of people in Idaho, and I'm sure you are in Utah as well, that are coming from the coastal states, whether that's Florida, California, and they're selling homes in those states with a lot of income coming in. So let's say you sell a home in California for $3 million. You can come to Idaho and you can buy something really, really nice for $800,000. But when you do that, if you have $3 million and you put down $800,000 in cash, the hardest thing to do is to recover money that you have in a mortgage, because things change in your qualifications that maybe won't allow you to access those funds. So people don't think about that. What they think about is, I want to be able to pay cash for my house so I don't have a mortgage payment. So all I have is taxes and insurance. Well, if you're over the age of 62, you can do what's called a overfunded reverse mortgage. This gets a little complicated, so I'm going to try and break it down as simple as I can. But with a reverse mortgage, is one of the advantage of a reverse mortgage is it comes without needing to make a payment. The way that works is, whatever your owed balance is on that, you go a little bit negative in the interest that would be owed on that, and it gets tacked onto that balance. So that's called negative amortization. Well, if you reverse fund a reverse mortgage, or if you overfund a reverse mortgage, you can pay down the portion that you're reverse on, that you're negatively amortizing on, to as little as $1,000. So that's a low cost when you're doing that. But with that reverse mortgage, then you would have a line of credit at 62. It's going to be roughly around 35% of what the value of the house is. But the cool part about that line of credit is it's growing. Today's rate that it's growing at is about 6.25, 6.5. So let's say you had an $800,000 house, you got a $300,000 now line of credit. That line of credit, that $300,000 is growing at 6.25 to 6.5. And the cool part about that is, if you want to use some of that line of credit, it also comes without a payment. So let's say you do that when you're 62. House is worth $800,000. You get to 75 and somebody needs long-term care, and you haven't done anything with that line of credit. Started at $300,000. Now you got about $575,000 on that line of credit. You can use that to either bring people into the home to care for somebody. You will never, ever, ever have a payment on that. And the other part of that that's cool is, when you guys do have an end-of-life event, there's no estate tax against that because it's a mortgage. If you own that home free and clear, you have estate tax on that, on those funds as they pass on to your children.
And explain to him, Jeff, about if you didn't do this and then you did try and do something when that life event happened, the difference.
So the difference is that maybe the life event happened, so that that person who ever had a life event had a pension, and that was part of the income. Well, that pension dies with them. They don't have that income anymore. So then they come and say, hey, I need to get some money out of my house. I only have Social Security, which is $5,000 a month. To borrow against now a house that's worth $1.2 million, and you want to get 80% of that money, that's $850,000. You're not going to be able to qualify to do that.
Because you have no job.
Because you have no job, you have no income. So you could do a reverse mortgage at that point, but you've not taken advantage then of that line of credit and building that up, because you've not been adding that 6.25, 6.5% to that as you've been moving forward.
Right. So by waiting, because the equity is going to build irregardless.
Correct, 100%.
So you're actually double dipping, so to say.
Exactly. Exactly. So those are the kind of things that you can think of. Let's talk a little bit about the VA loan. I think the VA loan is one of the best loan products out there. A lot of agents will not want to take a VA loan if they've got a conventional loan and it's the same on the contract, because they feel that the VA loan has harder qualifications.
Yep.
To the property. That's really not true anymore. The MPRs are minimum property requirements for a VA loan. How many of you watching or do you, Dean, know that you can have the vet ask for an MPR waiver, a minimum property requirement waiver? So let's say there is a crack in the concrete in the front wall. Gets called out by the appraiser because they're worried about it being a tripping hazard. Well, you can actually apply to the VA, have the veteran write a letter saying, I'm not concerned about that. I don't have issues with tripping. I don't have issues with my mobility. I would like to get a waiver on that. And about 90% of the time, the VA is going to come back and say, okay, we'll let you waive that. No longer an issue. A lot of agents don't know that.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yep. So there's a lot of things out there like the VA loan. Actually, the appraisals on VA loan come in at value more often than any other loan product out there, which is also a myth that they don't. But if you happen to have a VA loan that doesn't come in, there's not just one, but two different ways that you can then try and increase the value of that loan appraisal. The first is called Tidewater. The way Tidewater works is the appraiser goes in, he sees that it's going to come in below value. He alerts both the lender and the agent, hey, I'm invoking Tidewater on this. That gives you the ability to ask the listing agent for additional comps that maybe were not included in the comps that the appraiser was using. So then if those comps support higher value, the appraiser will make a change on the actual appraisal and come in at value. Let's say that part doesn't work. There's then what's called a reconsideration of value, which actually takes the appraiser completely out of the equation. So we no longer are working with the appraiser on this. We're working directly with the veteran and the VA. So the veteran writes a letter to the VA that states, hey, I am basically willing to pay this much for this house. This house fits my needs. This house is the perfect house for me. I would like you to allow me to buy it at this price. And they do have to support it with some comps, which as a lender, we have some ability to help them with that. But then the appraiser doesn't get to make the value decision, the VA does.
Wow.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah, it is.
I had one where it was a VA refinance. Appraisal came in low. So Tidewater on a refinance really doesn't work well because you don't have a listing agent. So we were able to raise that value by $40,000 to help that vet pay off a ton of debt. And part of the reason the VA let us do that was we were looking at where the vet was, and he had some debt that had occurred due to medical reasons for a grandchild. And he had helped that out. So they looked at that and saw that as a reason to allow him to use his house to get back into a better position financially because he had done that. So we were able to get that where we needed to be to complete that refinance to help that vet, and we got that loan back.
So Jeff, let's be clear for people out there that don't understand. In order to qualify for a VA loan, you have to either be a vet yourself or have an immediate grandparent, parent, correct?
You have to be a vet or a widow of a vet who was killed during a service-related activity.
Okay.
So you cannot, as a grandparent, being a vet, all that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. So that's why I'm saying this. I want to make sure they understand what it takes to qualify for a VA loan.
You also can be a National Guard or reservist, but you either have to have 6 years of full service in the National Guard or Reserve, or have 90 days of active duty besides the active duty you did when you were in basic training. So that would be somebody that was like maybe National Guard, got called up to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, and they were there for 90 days. They are now qualified to get a VA loan. If you served over 6 years, then there's a thing called a points statement that we have to evaluate to make sure that the activities you did while you were there for 6 years also qualify.
Right.
Yes. So there's many ways to qualify, but it is strictly for veterans and the wives of deceased veterans.
Got it. Well, I know that there's the big air base up there by you guys, and we, of course, have Hill Air Force Base here, so I think this is all legitimate, and I know that you're the guy up in Idaho, and Jimmy, I know he is awesome at vet. I mean, he's the guy.
He is the guy. He is the number one VA lender in the state of Utah.
So why don't you tell people out there, just in case they have family, whatever, anything they need up there in Idaho, why don't you give them how they can get a hold of you to discuss any kind of loan, not just veteran loans?
So there's a bunch of ways. Let's start with the easy ones. You can give me a call, 208-371-1508. You can shoot me an email, which is the first letter of my first name, J. Lake is my last name, so it's jlake at the letter U and the word mortgage, UMortgage.com. And I am all over social. So Jeff Lake on Facebook, Jeff the Lender on Instagram, Jeff Lake on LinkedIn, and Jeff the Lender on TikTok.
And if for any reason none of those work and you can't get a hold of Jeff up in Idaho, call me, text me, direct message me, and I'll make sure you get connected. And why don't we throw Jimmy a bone? Do you know Jimmy's contact info for down here in Salt Lake City?
So jhobson@umortgage.com, or look up Jimmy Hobson Home Loans is his website. He is absolutely one of the best of the best of the best.
Yep. And again, if you can't get a hold of either two of these cats, reach out to me, however it looks, and I'll make sure you get connected for sure.
I also want to throw out a shout out. UMortgage as a company just came out with a thing called Go Broker, powered by UMortgage. It's a true broker platform where if you're a loan officer, you get to have 275 basis points less a $995 flat fee, a $300 override to corporate, and a 10% holdback because you'll be W-2'd for taxes and any other operational services. But here's the cool part. If you do 50 loans, after 50 loans on your 51st loan, no more $995 fee.
Nice. So you're talking strictly right now to loan officers that if they want to make a move, which we know that in this industry, not only on the real estate side but the mortgage side, there's always people moving, always.
Yep, 100%.
Love it.
But this is a true broker flat fee model. But the difference between our flat fee model and others is we have that 50 loan. Once you reach that 50 loan cap, we remove a huge part, almost $1,000 of what your costs are per loan. So if you're doing 100 loans, that means you got 50 loans that you're making an extra $1,000 on. That's 50 grand.
Yeah. So that's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And it sounds to me like you're paying a few more bips than most people are used to as well. Is that true or not true?
Yeah, that's correct.
Nice. So a loan officer will know what I'm talking about.
Out of the 275 bips, you get to keep everything else but the 300, the 995, and the 10% holdback. Everything else stays.
Wow. Cool.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is.
Jimmy would definitely be the guy to get a hold of. You can get with me and I'll get you with Jimmy, but Jimmy is definitely the guy that is, he's our national sales manager as well. So
and he's a total stud.
He is a stud. Yeah. Jimmy, to pardon my French, but Jimmy is probably the biggest transparent, no bullshit guy I've ever met in my life.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Well, Jeff, we're out of time, brother, and I've got to go prep for another Zoom call, as you know, for our coaching. And man, dude, so good. I love coming to Idaho and hanging out with all you guys. And man, I'm so excited about what we're building up there and how many lives we're changing with the VIP 50, bro.
I think having Travis on the team is going to just accelerate that by tenfold.
Absolutely. So if any of you are out there in the Idaho area and you want to find out, or here in Utah, or pretty much, let's be honest here, Jeff, anywhere. and you want to find more about this VIP, because it's not just for real estate, guys. If you own a business, you need to go through this training. I'm telling you, it will change how you do business. So go ahead, Jeff.
If you want to talk to a guy who's not in real estate necessarily, but has put this to use and has grown his business tremendously, we can hook you up with Isaac Naylor. And
yes, we could.
Talk your socks off about it. And
he is a force to handle. I love that boy. So, Jeff, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. And like I said, anybody out there that wants to find out more, just direct message me, whatever, drop me something, and we can set up a time to sit down and chit chat. Well, bro, have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic Friday, and thank you so much for coming on the show with us. We appreciate it. I know Aaron was totally bummed that he couldn't be on this one, because he loves you just as much as I do.
Well, I love you guys too, and like I said before in this call, God puts the right people in your life to do the right things, and that's where we're at.
Yes, sir. Well, buddy, love you. Have a fantastic weekend, and thank you so much.
You too. Talk to you later.
You betcha. See you, bro.